Hey everybody, welcome back to The Real Heroes Show. I wanted to try something a little bit different today, and with James Gunn's Suicide Squad releasing this weekend in theaters, I thought it would be fun to go over how we got here, starting all the way back in 2014. So, in 2014, James Gunn shook the Marvel Cinematic Universe to its core when he released Guardians of the Galaxy. This was the first example of how someone could take a truly unknown set of characters, weird ones at that, and make them into household names. I mean, think about it. You've got a giant walking, talking tree, and a talking raccoon that has a penchant for murder that are now household names. That film's success led to a sequel, an eventual third film that's arriving in 2023, a holiday special, and the inclusion of his characters in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So right around the time that Guardians of the Galaxy was released, Warner Brothers and DC were in the beginnings of building their own cinematic universe. Zack Snyder's Man of Steel released in 2013, and at the time it was the only film from that franchise that audiences had seen. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice was currently filming, and the next film on the slate for Warner Brothers was going to be Suicide Squad. They had tapped David Ayer, known mostly for gritty crime films and war films. He's credited for screenplays for Training Day, the original Fast and Furious film, and Nothing is Stronger Than Family. He was fresh off directing Fury, which was also well received both critically and at the box office. Casting announcements were made in December of 2014 with Will Smith, Tom Hardy, Margot Robbie, Jared Leto, and Jai Courtney announced as the main cast. Tom Hardy was originally supposed to be playing Rick Flag, but he had to drop out due to his role in the film The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio, and Joel Kinnaman was cast to replace him. Viola Davis beat out Octavia Spencer, and yes, you are hearing this correctly, Oprah Winfrey for the role of Amanda Waller. Filming took place from April until August of 2015. However, after the audience response to the darker and slightly more brooding Batman v Superman, Warner Brothers mandated reshoots in 2016, which was the year of the film's release, to make it a little more colorful, comedic, and lighthearted. Kind of like that Guardians of the Galaxy movie that was such a smash hit for Marvel. The film was completed in late June, which was only about a month and a half before its world premiere in August of 2016. So during the time of the reshoots and the edits, the film went through major changes. The first 40 minutes were completely restructured. There was a ton of color and neon added to it, and it's even said that Warner Brothers had paid a company that normally does nothing but cut trailers to make this version of the film. Character motivations changed, romances were dropped, the third act was tweaked, and there was a ton of pop music added, which David Ayer claims did not exist in his cut of the film. So, the movie released, and it made a ton of money. It grossed roughly $750 million worldwide during its theatrical run. And that was even while it was up against all of these negative reviews it was getting, both from critics and audiences alike. A few of the performances were loved universally, such as Margot Robbie's turn as Harley Quinn, Will Smith as Deadshot, and Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. However, it just seemed like the cast, the crew, the director, the catering guy, the janitor, and really everybody involved in the film just didn't enjoy the final product. So, fast forward to July of 2018. You remember that James Gunn guy we talked about at the beginning of this video? Yeah, he was about to get started on production for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 when a bunch of his older tweets surfaced that got him in some hot water with Disney. So, James used to work for a studio called Troma, and Troma was known for a bunch of independent films that were all about shock value. Everything was there almost with the intention of offending people. And a lot of these tweets that James had posted were from that time, hadn't been deleted. And when they surfaced, the Walt Disney Company, in their best interest of keeping a squeaky clean image, as they always do, really wanted nothing to do with that, and they fired him from Guardians Volume 3 essentially on the spot. This sent shockwaves through Hollywood. The actors of his films started standing up for him, saying he shouldn't be fired, and Dave Bautista even went as far as to say that he would break his contract with Disney and not play Drax in the third Guardians film if it went forward without James Gunn. James apologized for all of his tweets, and he accepted his fate with Disney. However, little did he know that Warner Brothers was going to come knocking almost immediately once this news came out. They approached him at a time where their DCEU was somewhat floundering, and their big budget Justice League film, which was supposed to rival Marvel's Avengers movies, was a flop critically. Again, riddled with issues behind the scenes. We all know what happened with that between Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon, releasing the Snyder Cut, so on and so forth. It also didn't make anywhere near as much money as Warner Brothers wanted, so it was considered a failure. Warner Brothers originally offered James a Superman film, but he didn't want to take on such a popular character, and being completely desperate to land him, Warner Brothers essentially said, you can do any DC property you want. Could be anything from the catalog. And of all of those things, James Gunn chose the Suicide Squad. So that takes us to today. It's 2021. The world has changed, and there's a new Suicide Squad movie coming out this weekend. This film is not a reboot, nor is it a sequel. There are some characters that were in the first film. Those would be Harley Quinn, Amanda Waller, Rick Flag, and Captain Boomerang. However, James Gunn added a bunch of DC characters that I think if it weren't for this movie, may never have seen the light of day in live action. So you've got Peacemaker, Bloodsport, Blackguard, Savant, TDK, The Thinker, Ratcatcher 2, Javelin, Weasel, and we cannot forget the absolute legend that is King Shark. And in stark contrast to the 2016 film, James Gunn was given full creative control here. He's been quoted saying that he made every single choice for this movie and that Warner Brothers never once interfered. The film is rated R, and as far as I can tell, it is a hard R. It is rated R for strong violence and gore, language throughout, some sexual references, drug use, and brief graphic nudity. It appears to be a big, bold choice and a big swing, but hopefully it's the turning of the tide at Warner Brothers and DC, where they can let their directors shine and tell some amazing stories within these comic book universes. Well, that's all I've got for you. Hopefully you all check out the film this weekend, and maybe you'll consider coming back to the channel to check out our review, which will be posted as soon as we watch the film and can get it recorded. If you like this video, leave us a comment and let us know. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so for free. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on your notifications, and share with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.